Today in history, January 8th, 1675. First American commercial corporation chartered. 1790. President George Washington delivers his first State of the Union address. 1800. The wild boy of Aveyron is discovered in southern France after possibly 7 years in the wilderness. Later christened Victor of Aveyron. 1811. Charles de Slans leads an unsuccessful slave revolt in the North American settlements of St. Charles and St. James, Louisiana. 1815. War of 1812. Battle of New Orleans. The war had ended on December 24, 1814, but none of the combatants knew. 1828. The Democratic Party of the United States is organized. 1833. Boston Academy of Music, first U.S. music school, established. 1835. U.S. President Andrew Jackson announces a celebratory dinner after having reduced the United States national debt to zero for the first and only time. 1847. 500 Mexican militia, led by commanders Jose Maria Flores and Andres Pico, offered the last serious Mexican resistance against U.S. invasion forces at the Battle of the San Gabriel River. 1867. African-American men gain the right to vote in Washington, D.C. despite President Andrew Johnson's veto. 1877. Crazy Horse and his warriors fight their last battle with the United States Cavalry at Wolf Mountain. 1902. New York State Assemblyman Francis G. Lanning gets a bill passed to criminalize men turning around on a street and looking at a woman in that way. 1918, U.S. President Woodrow Wilson outlines his 14 points for peace after the Great War. Also 1918, Mississippi becomes the first state to ratify the 18th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, authorizing the prohibition of alcohol. 1964, Andrew Hill records his album, Judgment, at Van Gelder Studio in Englewood Cliffs, New Jersey. Also 1964, President Johnson declares war on poverty. 1971, Voyageurs National Park in Minnesota, established. 1972, Keep the Faith, the second album by Black Oak, Arkansas, is released on the Atco label. 1990, Scum Dogs of the Universe, the second album by American satirical heavy metal band Gore, is released on Metal Blade Records.